Hello students, good morning to all of you. Welcome to EDX classes. Myself Vaishali Karnataka, chemistry educator of EDX. If you have not registered with the EDX classes, visit the site classes.edx.com to get the demo classes free. In this session, I am going to discuss about the most important chapter, chemical bonding, which is the major portion, major weightage in the NEET examination. So in this session, I am going to discuss about the important concept that is of the hybridization, valency bond theory and the Vesper theory with the simple tricks and the calculation so easy. So let us have a look at the three concepts here. So look at the weightage of this concepts here. In this case, the weightage is, look at this bond parameters here, bond angle, bond order, bond energy and bond length. We will discuss. Next one is polar character of the covalent bond. This is set with the Fajans rule. Right? Coming to the Vesper theory, valential electron pair theory, valency bond theory and the hybridization we will discuss now. Now, next one is the molecular orbital theory. This is also very important for the examination point of view. So look at this molecular orbital theory is of the 41%, and coming to the hybridization topic is of the 23%, and this valency bond theory is up to the 9% here. So total 70% will be coverage from this three topics. Here. Now look at polar character of the covalent bond is also important, but this is also the 14%. We will discuss the easiest methods for getting of the maximum score in the examination. So let us discuss the hybridization. Hybridization. In this case of hybridization, first of all, we will take the bond pairs plus lone pairs. That means intermixing of atomic orbitals. Intermixing of the atomic orbitals to form the new orbital, which is called as the new hybrid orbitals. That is called as the hybridization here. That means we have the hybrid orbitals are S atomic orbitals are there, P orbitals, D orbitals, and the F orbitals are there. So whenever one S orbital and one P orbitals can combine together, so that they are intermixing with each other and they can form the two sp hybrid orbitals. That is the hybridization here. So look at, in this case, we are taking of the bond pair plus lone pair into the consideration. Bond pair plus lone pair, that will give you the structure of, that will give you the geometry of the molecule. Geometry of the molecule or the compound here. Right? So look at, in this case, generally we have the bond pair plus lone pair is equal to the general. We are calculating that bond pair plus lone pair is equal to the 4 here. Now here bond pair means we always take the sigma bond here. Sigma bond means whenever one sigma bond is formed, that means two electrons are shared between the two atoms, then sigma bond is formed here. Now 4 electrons are shared between the two atoms, then they can form the sigma bond and the pi bond here. So whenever you are saying the bond pair, you have to take into the count of the sigma bond here. So look at sigma plus lone pair of electrons is equal to the 2. Then this will be the sp hybridization. Now this is of the 3, sp2 hybridization, which is equal to the 4, sp3 hybridization, 5, sp3d hybridization, right? 6, that indicates that sp3 d2 hybridization, and 7, sp3 d3 hybridization here. So look at, we are including the bond pairs and the lone pairs, right? So this decides the geometry. This decides the geometry of the molecule here. So sp indicates that this is of the linear here. sp2 indicates that this is of the trigonal planar. sp3 indicates that this is of the tetrahedral. This is of tetrahedral. Coming to the sp3d, trigonal bipyramidal structure. This is called as trigonal bipyramidal, which is called as TBP structure. And coming to the sp3d2 hybridization, this will be the octahedral. This will be the octahedral structure. And sp3d3 hybridization means pentagonal bipyramidal structure. Pentagonal bipyramidal structure here. Right? This is called as TBP. TBP. Okay. Now, look at, in this case, we are taking the lone pair, we are taking the sigma bond, right? Sigma bond electrons. Now here we have to take the central metal atom valencies. Central atom valency. Central atom valence electrons, right? So in this case we are taking of lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and the halogen we are having of the xenon. Now look at in this case, first of all, we will write the lithium. Lithium is having of 1, beryllium 2, boron 3, carbon 4, nitrogen 5, oxygen 6, fluorine is 7, xenon is the 8 here, 8 valence electrons. Now look at the surrounding atoms. Here we have to take the surrounding atoms. Surrounding atoms can form only one bond, that is said to be the sigma bond here. Sigma bond. That means they can form the hydrogen and the halogens. Hydrogens and the halogens can form the sigma bond. Now look at the surrounding atoms can form the 2 bonds, that indicates that one sigma bond, and here it is of 1 pi bond here. Now look at in this case of 3 bonds. Generally this oxygen family elements will form the double bond here. Next one is the triple bond. This will indicate that 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bonds here. 2 pi bonds. These are nitrogen family elements can form the 3 bonds here, right? First of all, we want to calculate the hybridization. Now look at the calculation of the hybridization. You have to keep in the 3 points. You have to keep in your mind the 3 points here. So first one is count the total valence electrons. Total valence electrons, right? And second point is, if valence electrons, it is in the range of 2 to less than or equal to 8, then it can be divided with the 2. Next one is greater than 8 to less than or equal to 56, it can be divided with the 8. And here greater than 56, it can be divided with the 18 here, right? 18. Now look at in this case. Next one is 3 indicates that. Here look at whenever the quotient that will be of the 2, this indicates that sp. 3 will come, then that is the sp2 hybridization. 4 indicates that sp3 hybridization. And next one is of the 5, this will be the sp3d hybridization. 6 indicates that sp3d2 hybridization. 7 indicates that sp3d3 hybridization. Valency bond theory is the extension part of the hybridization. Okay. Now look at in this case, whenever you are calculating the quotient part, then you have to find out the lone pair of electrons here. Lone pair of electrons is equal to the quotient. Quotient means which express the hybridization. Quotient minus the surrounding atoms here. Quotient minus the surrounding atoms. Right? Quotient is the hybridization part. So look at, first of all, we are taking one example here, methane. We are taking of the simple example. This is of the methane, right? So look at carbon valence electrons. How many valence electrons are in the carbon? Carbon is having of the valence electrons is 4 here, right? Carbon 4. Plus hydrogen is having of only 1 valence electron, and here it is a 4 atoms are there, right? So total is equal to 8. 8 can be divided with, here look at, 8 can be divided with the 2. Then 2 4s are 8, which is equal to the 0. So this is the quotient part, right? This is the quotient part, which indicates that sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization means we can say that this is of the tetrahedral. And find out the lone pair of electrons. Quotient is of the 4 minus surrounding atoms. Surrounding atoms are 4 hydrogen atoms, right? 4 hydrogen atoms, that will be equal to the 0 here. There is no lone pairs. So we can say that whenever we here bond pair sigma electrons plus lone pair of electrons is equal to the 4, that indicates that sp3 hybridization, right? Here we have to write the hybridization is hydrogen and the hydrogen here. This is of the tetrahedral structure. Now coming to the, here I am taking the example of NH3. So look at in this case of NH3, nitrogen is having of the valence electrons. How many valence electrons are there? Nitrogen, 5 valence electrons are there. So 5 plus 3 into 1, right? So total is 8. This 8 can be divided with the 2. 2 4s are 8, then 0. This 4 indicates that sp3 hybridization. And find the lone pair of electrons. Here lone pair of electrons will be the 1, right? sp3 hybridization. 1 lone pair of electrons. That means 4 minus 3, that is equal to the 1 lone pair is present. Now look at, we are writing the structure is, this one will be the hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Now look at, in this case of the, in this case of geometry, we have to take the geometry, lone pair plus bond pairs will be considering. Lone pair plus bond pairs will be considering here. So look at, in this case, one lone pair is there, one lone pair, yes, one lone pair plus 3 sigma bonds are there. So that is equal to the 4 and sp3 hybridization. Okay, this is the tetrahedral structure. This is of tetrahedral structure here. And what about the BF3 hybridization here? What about the BF3? Or otherwise we will take the H2O. In the case of H2O, 2 valence electrons are there. In the oxygen, 6 valence electrons are there. This 8 will indicate that 4 sp3 hybridization. To find out the lone pair of electrons, 4 minus 2 surrounding atoms. 2 surrounding atoms are 2 lone pair of electrons are there. We already know that oxygen can form the 2 bonds with the 2 hydrogens. So look at, in this case, 2 lone pair of electrons are there. Whenever you are counting the geometry, when you are saying the geometry, then you have to take the sigma plus lone pairs. Sigma plus lone pair. Sigma is equal to the 2 sigma bonds are there plus 2 lone pairs is there. So total 4. This indicates that sp3. In this case of sp3, this will be of the tetrahedral structure, right? Tetrahedral structure, and this tetrahedral structure will be the 109 degrees 28 minutes. But whenever due to the coming of the lone pair of electrons, the bond angle changes. That will be explained by using of the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. That is of the Vesper theory, right? Okay, here in this case, we are taking of the one more example. Here it is of the BF3. We are taking one more example of BF3. In this case of boron, this is having of the valence electrons is, how many valence electrons are there in the case of the boron? Look at, in this case of boron, 3 valence electrons are there, right? 3 valence electrons. 3 plus 3 into 7. That is 3 plus 21, which is equal to the 24. This 24 can be divided with the 8. 8 3s are 24 and 0 here. 3 indicates that this will be sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization is trigonal planar structure. Trigonal planar structure here. In this case of trigonal planar structure, we have to find out the lone pair of electrons. How many lone pair of electrons are there? 3 minus 3, that is equal to the 0. That means here 0 lone pairs plus 3 bond pairs are there. That indicates that 3. 3 indicates that sp2 hybridization here. Coming to the next one, here we are taking of the PCl3. PCl3. Phosphorus, nitrogen family element, right? Nitrogen family element means phosphorus is having of the 5 valence electrons, 3 into 7 valence electrons. That is equal to the 5 plus 21. 5 plus 21. This is equal to the 26 here. This 26 can be divided with the 8. 8 3s are 24. And here it is of 2. 2 1s are 2. Right? So this will be of the sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. And to find out the lone pair of electrons, 4 minus 3, that is equal to the 1 here. That is equal to the 1. So in this case of PCl3, look at, one lone pair is there. And we will calculate from this structure only. 1 lone pair plus 3 bond pairs, that equal to the 4, which is the sp3 hybridization here. This is also the tetrahedral structure. This is also the tetrahedral structure. Whenever if you are counting the XeF6 hybridization, in this case of XeF6, we are taking of XeF6. Xenon is having of 8 plus fluorine is 7 into 6. That is equal to the 8 plus 42, which is equal to the 50. This 50 electrons can be divided with the 8. 8 6 are 48, and this 2 1s are 2. That is equal to the 0. 7 indicates that this will be the sp3d3 hybridization here. So to find out the lone pair of electrons, 7 minus 6, which is equal to the 1 here. Now look at, in this case of xenon, fluorine, 6 fluorine, 6 bonds are forming is there, right? Fluorine, fluorine, and fluorine. Here it is of 1 lone pair is present here. 1 lone pair is present, 1 fluorine bond is there, right? So look at, in this case, we are counting of this lone pair plus 6 bond pairs. 1 lone pair plus 6 bond pairs. That is equal to the 7. That indicates that sp3d3 hybridization, and this is the pentagonal bipyramidal structure here. Now look at, in this case, if any lone pair of electrons comes here, then that can be explained by the valence shell electron pair theory. Here, from this last explanation part, we can say that geometry of the molecule, geometry or structure of the molecule can be taken by the bond pair, that means sigma bond plus lone pair of electrons, right? If lone pair of electrons comes here, if lone pair of electrons comes in the picture of the structure, then lone pair repulsions will be increases than that of lone pair to bond pair repulsions, and here bond pair to bond pair repulsions here, bond pair to bond pair repulsions. Now look at in this case, why these lone pair to lone pair repulsions are more here. In this case, look at here, I'm taking the example of water molecule. Here I'm taking the example of water molecule, and look at it. Lone pair of electrons is located only one single atom, whereas this is the bond pair. This is the bond pair. Bond pair electrons are shared between the two atoms here. That's why bond pair repulsions are very less here. Whereas lone pair repulsions are more, because lone pair is present on the single atom. That's why it causes more repulsions here. So we can say that lone pair to lone pair repulsions is greater than that of the lone pair to bond pair, and here it is of the bond pair to bond pair here, bond pair to bond pair. So this is the order here. Now look at in this case, whenever this sigma bond pair, here look at in this case, we are taking of the sigma, and here it is of lone pair of electrons. I will write in the next look at it. In this case, if we are taking the sigma lone pair, and here it is of the shape, this can be explained by this theory can be explained by the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, right? So look at in this case of CH4, we are taking of the similar example NH3, and here it is of water molecule. All the elements, all the compounds are exhibiting of the sp3 structure, sp3 hybridization, but the geometry is the same here, whereas in the case of the nitrogen, here look at CH4 and ammonia, this is having of one lone pair of electrons, and in this case of oxygen, this is having of two lone pairs. Due to the two lone pairs of electrons, then the geometry will be, the shape will be changes here. Shape will be changes due to the lone pair repulsions. Due to this lone pair repulsions, bond angle also changes. Bond angle also changes here. Bond angle also changes. Now look at in this case, this will be of the possessing of the sp3 hybridization, and due to the one lone pair of electrons, this will be the pyramidal structure. This will be the pyramidal structure, and this will be the bent structure or the V-shaped structure or the angular shape. Okay, so this lone pair repulsions can be explained by the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So now look at how many sigma, lone pair, and the shape here. So look at here, I am taking sigma bond and the lone pairs here. Whenever two sigma bonds are there, zero lone pair, then shape is linear. We have to take only the bond pair into the consideration. Now look at, whenever in this case of 2, 1, 2, 2, look at in this case of, this will be the angular, and here also angular shape will be present here, angular. And in this case of 2, 3 lone pairs are there. 3 lone pairs means 3 unpaired electrons are there. You have to take into the consideration of 2 lone pairs. That is of the linear here. Now look at here, it is of 3 sigma bonds are there. If 3 sigma bonds are there, then take it as 3, 0. 3, 0 indicates a trigonal planar structure. Whenever one lone pair is there, lone pair is there, then that indicates that trigonal pyramidal structure. Coming to the 3-2, this is of T-shaped. Now look at 4-0, this will be the tetrahedral structure. Tetrahedral structure, when 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair is present, that is of the pyramidal structure or the trigonal pyramidal structure. And next one is 4-2 is there, then this is said to be the bent shape. Now look at, in this case we are taking of sigma, lone pair and the shape here. Now 5 sigma bonds are there, 0 lone pairs, this will be the TBP structure. 5 and the 1, 5 1 indicates that this is of the seesaw shape. 5 bond pairs and the 2 lone pairs are present, this will be the T shape, bent T shape. And coming to the next one is 5-3, this indicates that linear shape, whereas the 6-0, this will be indicates that octahedral. 6-1 lone pair is present, then this will be the square pyramidal. Whenever 6-2 is there, that is said to be the square planar. And here look at, in this case of 6-3 there, this indicates that T shape. 6-4 is there, linear. 6-4 is there, linear. And when 7-0, this is of the pentagonal bipyramidal. Whenever 7-1 bond pair is there, 1 lone pair is there, then this will be the distorted octahedral structure. So this is about the valence shell electron pair theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. And according to the lone pairs only, we are considering the shapes here. Whenever in the question they are asking the shape of the molecule, you have to consider this one. Okay, now look at the structure here. Here look at, this is the linear, this is the sp hybridization, it will be the sp2 hybridization, sp3 hybridization. Next one is the sp3 dehybridization, sp3 d2 hybridization. Here I will include the sp3 d3 hybridization. Whenever 1 lone pair is present, then this will be the distorted octahedral, and this will be the pentagonal bipyramidal structure. Here 7. Now linear, and here it is of the trigonal planar geometry will be the lone pair, including of lone pairs. Trigonal planar, whenever 1 lone pair is present, this is the bent structure. sp3, 1 lone pair is present, trigonal pyramidal. 2 lone pairs is present, bent structure. In the case of sp3d, trigonal bipyramidal, that means lone pairs and the bond pairs. Coming to the shape here, molecular geometry. In the case of the molecular geometry, here we have to consider, here it is of the, look at, this will be the 1 lone pair is present, then this is of the seesaw shape. Coming to the next one, T shape, 3 lone pairs are present, linear. Coming to the sp3d2, octahedral, square pyramidal, 1 lone pair is present, 2 lone pairs are present, square planar, 3 lone pairs are present, T shape, 4 lone pairs are present, linear. Here I wrote in this case, right? Now look at the questions. Structure of BRF3. I already told you the simple trick to calculate the hybridization part, right? BRF3. In this case of BRF3, we will calculate the hybridization part. Look at BRF3. So first of all, take the valence electrons. Bromine is having of 7 plus 3 into 7, which is equal to the 7 plus 21, which is equal to the 28 here. 28 can be divided with 28 can be divided with 8. 8 3s are 24. Here it is of 4. This will be divided with 2 2s are 4, 0. So this indicates that 5, sp3 dehybridization. This will be the TBP structure, trigonal bipyramidal structure. To find out the lone pair of electrons, 5 minus the surrounding atoms, that is equal to the 2. So look at, in this case, we are taking of the Br as the central atom. Now look at the 3 fluorines are placed here. Fluorine, fluorine, and fluorine. Here lone pairs, we have to place this. So look at, in this case, they are asking the geometry here, right? Geometry means we have to take only the bond pairs. This is of the T shape. If they are asking the structure, this will be the trigonal bipyramidal structure. What is the question here? They are asking only the structure of BRF3 is. Structure of BRF3. What is the answer here? It is of BRF3. BRF3 structure is bent T shape, like this one. This structure will be obtained, right? This is of the Br and here it is of fluorine, fluorine, bent T shape. Next one is the bond order. This is explained by using of the molecular orbital theory. When I am explaining the molecular orbital concept, I am taking this example also, question also. Okay. Next one, hybridization in the shape of BRF5 is BRF5. Look at, in the case of BRF5. Look at this one. BRF5. So this will 7 plus 5 into 7, that is equal to 7 plus 35, which is equal to the 42. This 42 can be divided with 8. 8 5s are 40. So 2 1s are 2, that is equal to the 0. 6 indicates that sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization means octahedral. Now to find out the lone pairs, how many lone pairs are there? In this case of lone pair is equal to the 6 minus 5, which is equal to the 1. One lone pair is present. One lone pair is present means that will be the square pyramidal structure. Look at, in this case, sp3d2 hybridization, one lone pair is present, that will be the square pyramidal structure. Clear? So look at sp3d2 hybridization and the square pyramidal structure. Next one, match the compound given in the column 1 with the hybridization and shape given in the column 2 and the mark the correct option. XeF6. Look at, in this case of XeF6, fluorine, 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 and here it is of fluorine. One lone pair is present, and here it is of, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Xenon is having of 8 valence electrons, right? 8 valence electrons. That's why we are writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one lone pair is there. One lone pair is there means, look at, in this case, this will be the hybridization of XeF6. One lone pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 means this will be of the sp3d2 hybridization. Yes, sp3d2 hybridization. Now, sp3d2 hybridization means this will be the one second. Here total 7 bonds are there, no? Here. One lone pair plus 6 bond pairs are there. That indicates that sigma 7. 7 indicates that sp3d3 hybridization, right? sp3d3 means pentagonal bipyramidal. One lone pair is present. One lone pair is present. That indicates that, look at, one lone pair is present, distorted octahedral structure. Distorted octahedral structure. For A, we are taking of 1. Next one, XeO3. In this case of XeO3, look at, we are writing that double bond oxygen, double bond oxygen. Here 1, 2, 6 bonds are there and one more lone pair of electrons are there. So look at, we have to take the bond pair plus lone pairs. Here look at it, this will be the sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. One lone pair and 3 bond pairs are there. You have to take only the sigma bond, right? One lone pair plus 3 bond pairs, that equal to the 4. And 4 and 1 lone pair is present. One lone pair is present. That means pyramidal structure. Pyramidal. Okay. For the B, we are writing of 3 here. Coming to the next one, XeOF4. In this case of XeOF4, here I am writing double bond oxygen. Here fluorine, 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 and the fluorine. How many bonds are forming here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 more electrons are there. 2 more electrons. Now count the lone pair of electrons. Lone pair plus bond pairs. Lone pair is 1 and bond pair is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 6. 6 indicates that sp3d. sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization means this will be the octahedral. Whenever one lone pair is present, that indicates that this will be the square pyramidal. Square pyramidal. Look at sp3d2. One lone pair is present. Square pyramidal. Square pyramidal. So C4. And coming to the XeF4. Look at in this case of Xe, fluorine, fluorine, and fluorine, fluorine. Here 8 bonds has to be formed by the xenon here. So in this case 4 bond pairs. That means 4 electrons is there. 4 electrons means 2 lone pair of electrons. So 2 lone pairs plus 4 bond pairs. That means 6. 6 indicates that sp3d2 hybridization. Octahedral. 2 lone pairs. That means square planar. So we can take it as the D2. So what is the structure here? B. Next one. The species having the bond angle of 120. 120 is for the sp2 hybridization. sp2. For the sp3, 109 degrees, 28 minutes, and sp2, 120 degrees. For the sp, 180 degrees. Right? In this case, look at which one is having of the sp2 hybridization. For this Cl F3. Fluorine can form 7 bonds, right? 3 bonds are there, and next one 4. This will be the sp3d hybridization. In the case of NCl3, nitrogen can form, one second, Cl, 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 and 1 lone pair. So correct option is the lone pair of electron is present. This will be the sp3 hybridization, right? Coming to the BCl3. In the case of BCl3, Cl, Cl, Cl. So 0 lone pair. 0 lone pair means boron can form the 3 bonds, right? This will be the sp2 hybridization. C is the right option here, sp2 hybridization. Next one, pH3. In the case of pH3, this is also the sp3 hybridization, right? So just here I gave you the some trick also for the valence electrons, right? Valence electrons means that can form, they can form so many that number of bonds here. So look at in this case, if beryllium can form two valence electrons means they can form 2 bonds. Boron can have the 3 valence electrons means they can form 3 bonds. But the stable objective configuration, carbon can form 4 bonds, nitrogen can form 5 bonds, oxygen can form 6 bonds, 7, and xenon can form the 8 bonds. Next one. This bond order will be discussed in the next class. Okay. Next one, the increasing order of bond order of O2. This is also the molecular orbital. And here look at in this case of which of the following pair of ions is isoelectronic and isostructural. Isoelectronic means same number of electrons. Same number of electrons. Isostructural means same structure. Same structure will be obtained. Here look at in this case of isoelectronic means in this case of chlorine, this is having of the 17 plus oxygen 3 into 8 to 24, which is equal to the 41 here. Sulfur is of the 16 plus 24. This is equal to the 40. No. Isoelectronic. Here, first of all, I am counting the electrons here. In this case, carbon, this is having of the 6 plus 24. That is equal to the 24 plus 2 electrons are there, right? Which is equal to the 32. Nitrogen is of 7 plus 24 plus 1, which is equal to the 32. So this is the right option here. Coming to the next one, ClO3. Only we are calculating the isoelectronic and that is also the isostructural. Next one is the correct geometry of the hybridization of XeF4. I already told you that Xe can form the 8 bonds, right? Fluorine, fluorine, and the fluorine here. 4 electrons are pending here. That means 4 electrons means 2 lone pair of electrons. So here they are asking the geometry. Here they are asking the geometry, including of lone pairs. Including of the lone pairs. So here look at, in this case, this will be of the 2 lone pairs plus 4, 6. 6 indicates that this will be the sp3d2 hybridization and the sphere planar. sp3d2 hybridization and the sphere planar. So look at, this is a NEET 2016 question. Next one, among the following which was is a wrong statement here? I3 plus has the bent geometry. PH pi and BiCl pi does not exist. P pi D pi bonds are present in the SO2. SeF4 and CH4 have the same shape. I3 plus has the bent geometry. Look at, in the case of the I3 plus, iodine can form the 7 bonds, right? So look at, in this case, I3. I3 means we can write it as this one and this one. Otherwise, you can take the valence electrons here. In this case, here I am writing iodine I3 plus. That means 7 into 3 minus 1. 21 minus 1, which is equal to the 20. This 20 can be divided with 8. 8 2s are 16. And here it is a 4. 2 2s are 4. So look at, in this case of 4, sp3 hybridization here. sp3 hybridization. Now look at counting the lone pair of electrons. In this case, iodine will be surrounded by 2 iodine. So 4 minus 2, that is equal to the 2. 2 indicates that this is of the bent shape. This is the right statement. And coming to the SO2, S sulfur double bond. Here P pi D pi bonds are present. In the case of PH5 and BiCl5 does not exist. PH5 is existing. BiCl5 do not exist. Look at, in this case, SeF4, we will take the SeF4 here. Selenium is the oxygen family, right? Selenium is the oxygen family, and this is having of the 4 valence electrons. SeF4, 4 plus 7 into 4, which is equal to the 4 plus 28, that is equal to the 32. 32 can be divided with the 8. 8 4s are 32. So this will be the sp3 hybridization here. One second, oxygen is having, here oxygen is having of the valence electron 6 plus 7 into 4, that is equal to the 6 plus 28, which is equal to the 34. This 34 can be divided with the 8. 8 4s are 32 and 2 1s are 2. So 0. This will be the sp3d hybridization. Whereas in the case of the CH4, this will be the sp3 hybridization. So these are not having of the same hybridization. So this is the wrong option here. This is the wrong option. PH5 and BiCl5 exist. BiCl5 exist. Next one is trigonal. Which of the following structures of a molecule is expected to have the 3 bond pairs and the 1 lone pair of electrons? 3 bond pairs and the 1 lone pair. 3 bond pair plus 1 lone pair. Trigonal planar means this is of the sp2 hybridization, right? And in this case of octahedral means sp3 d2 hybridization. Tetrahedral means sp3. Pyramidal means sp3. This is of the 3 bond pairs and the 1 lone pair. Expected to have the 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair of electrons is the pyramidal structure. Pyramidal. Tetrahedral means 3 bond pairs plus total 4 bond pairs are present, then tetrahedral. In the case of octahedral, 2 lone pairs. Trigonal planar, there is no bond pairs and lone pairs here. So look at, in this case, this has to be explained. Next one, consider the following species. This is also the bond order question. Now, which one of the following elements is unable to form the MF63 minus ions? MF63 minus ions. Look at, in this case, gallium, aluminium, indium, Boron cannot form the DF6 3- ions. NEET 2018 question. Because boron can expand its octet for the 3 electrons only. So that cannot form the BF6 3- ions. And in the structure of ClF3, the number of lone pair of electrons on the central atom Cl. Here, lone pair of electrons they are asking. So here I already told you the trick also. Here also I am explaining this. Fluorine can form the 7 bonds, right? We are writing of the fluorine here. Fluorine, fluorine, and fluorine here. 3 bonds. And again in this case of fluorine, 4 electrons are there. 4 electrons we have to place into the 2 lone pair of electrons here. 2 lone pair of electrons. So this is the way to write the lone pair of electrons here. So this central atom of the chlorine, which is having of 2 lone pair of electrons. 2 lone pair of electrons. Otherwise, you can calculate by using of the simple trick for finding of the valence electrons. Chlorine is 7 valence electrons plus 3 into 7, which is equal to the 7 plus 21, that is equal to the 28. This 28 can be divided with the 8. 8 3s are 24 and 2 1s are 2. Right? 4. 4 indicates that this will be of the here it is a 4. 2 2s are. So 5 indicates that sp3d2 hybridization, right? sp3d hybridization. Lone pair of electrons. To find the lone pair of electrons, quotient minus number of surrounding atoms 3, that is equal to the 2. Central atom is having of the 2 lone pair of electrons. Next one is the magnitude and the the manganate and the paramanganate ions are the tetrahedral due to the NEET 2019 question, previous year question only. This is a manganate and the permanganate ion. What is the right option? The pi bonding involves overlap of the d orbitals of the oxygen with the overlap of this. The manganate and the permanganate ions. In this case, manganate ions are MnO4 minus. Permanganate ions are here. Look at manganese. The structure is Mn oxygen minus double bond oxygen. Whereas in the permanganate ion, manganese double bond oxygen, and one oxygen is there. 1 second, I will write here. In this case of manganate ions and the permanganate ions, the pi bonding involves the overlap of the oxygen with the d orbitals of the manganese. So look at in this case, the pi bonding involves the overlap of the p orbitals of the oxygen. Oxygen is having of the p orbitals and manganese is having of the d orbitals. So whenever the pi bond and the pi bonding is taking place between the overlapping of the p orbitals of the oxygen and the d orbitals of the manganese here. So the correct option is B. Next question. So these are the important points regarding of the valence bond theory, hybridization, and the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. And we already discussed the previous year questions also and the tricks also. This session is very useful to all the aspirants who are writing for the NEET examination. If you have not registered with the edX classes, visit the site classes.edX.com to get the demo classes free. Thank you and see you in the next session with the Pajan's rule and also the bond parameters. Thank you.